Urban sketching is quite simply the act of sketching on location. Instead of drawing from a photographic reference in the safety of your own house or studio, the urban sketcher ventures into the world and draws from life on location. My name is Nana, and in this video I will be trying urban sketching for the first time. So before I go out, I just wanted to show off the materials I'm going to be bringing with me. First of all, I got an old pencil case with Snoopy, and in here I got some watercolor brushes. I wrapped some paper towels around them to keep the hairs safe, hopefully. Then I got an ink pen, a waterproof ink pen. I got a Kneadable eraser as well as my mechanical pencils. So these are the main things I'm going to use, but also just have a lot of stuff down here that I always have in my pencil case. Then for the watercolors, I'm using this Winsor and Newton cotman palette, which is a travel set. So it has a perfect size to bring with me. It also has its own little brush that I can use if I want to try and do some detailed works. For the paper, I'm using this homemade watercolor sketchbook. I made it so I wouldn't be too precious about my sketches in here, but I think it has a pretty decent size for a travel sketchbook. And then for the water, I'm just bringing that in this old jar that I am reusing. Yeah. Since this was my first time trying urban sketching, I was quite nervous about the whole drawing in public thing. So in order to calm my nerves and move a little back into my comfort zone, I had planned out a few locations I wanted to draw from. I live in walking distance to a forest, so I thought this was perfect, but every time I arrived at one of my planned spots, there were already people there. So I decided to drop the plan and walk off my usual route and went to the harbor, where I noticed this tiny lighthouse that I decided to sit down and draw. It was quite challenging, not so much the drawing, but I was sitting on these rocks next to the water, so I wasn't very comfortable and I didn't have a very good place to have my supplies, and I was really worried about dumping my paint water into the sea. At one point I was even close to dropping my phone in between two rocks, so that was when I gave up on getting any good footage. But despite the challenges involved, I was really enjoying myself. The weather was nice, really nice, as you can see, and the location was secluded enough that I didn't feel like people were looking me over the shoulder, so I could really just enjoy myself and the whole process, and I was even quite happy with the final result. So with that success under my belt, I went off to the botanical gardens and found a spot overlooking Den Gamle By, which is an open air museum with historical Danish houses that I decided to draw. There were more people walking by here, but my main company, as you can see, were little green bugs. And the people that did walk by actually seemed quite indifferent about my drawing, so as it turns out, drawing in public, not so scary at all. I'm definitely going to try this again, and I'm even planning on going back to this spot, to these old houses, so I can capture more of the details on the yellow gable. But for now, I'm quite happy with how both of these drawings turned out, and I'm really happy I went out of my comfort zone to do this. Thank you so much for joining me on my little urban sketching journey, and if you like this video, please consider liking it and maybe even subscribing. I certainly hope to see you again, and until then, take care. Bye!